what do a Czech composer in 1893 and a Hollywood shark from 1975 have in common? Well, they both made waves, you could say, with the same two notes. I'm Jared Ritchie. Today is Friday, April the 25th, and you're listening to the Friday 5 series from Musically Speaking. Today's spotlight is on the thrilling movement of Antonin Dvořák's New World Symphony. The title of that particular movement is the Allegro con fuoco, fast with fire, you could say. While the second movement gets all the love with that famous English horn solo, this scherzo has something wild buried in it. The second movement we know very well with that folk theme, but a musical moment that just might have swum its way, if you catch my not-so-subtle hints, into one of the most terrifying film scores of all time. At least that's kind of my thoughts. Let's see if we can break it down in 3 observations that might move you to go and listen to these things side by side and see if you don't agree with me. The first reason is that the two-note motif will sound familiar, and you know this. That's it. It's the musical definition of incoming doom. But listen now to how Dvořák opens this Allegro con fuoco movement. It's rhythmic, it's pulsing, and it's built on an eerily similar gesture. Tight, it's tense, and even low. Of course, the harmony and the texture are very different, but the musical DNA, it's strikingly similar. And that's the first of these observations. The second is the rhythmic obsession. Dvořák doesn't seem to let up. We have short bow strokes in the string section. They churn forward like almost like a runaway train or something maybe lurking beneath the surface of the sound of the music. It's a rhythmic insistence that gives this movement its cinematic urgency, and it's no wonder we can imagine some sort of danger building like you have in John Williams' composition, which uses that same pulse that we know all too well. A third observation would be that there is an American energy through Dvořák's Czechoslovakian lens. Dvořák was living in the U.S., I believe Minnesota at the time, or thereabouts in the northern part of the States, when he wrote this symphony. He soaked up some of these rhythms that would have been Native American rhythms. He even listened to some African American spirituals, and there was this wide open energy of this so-called American landscape. It bursts with frontier syncopation and bold orchestral color. It's quite a contrast from what would have been heard just before that in this symphony. It's not just a European composer writing so-called American music. It's cross-cultural conversation, you could say, that in many ways prefigures the bold symphonic storytelling of great composers like that of John Williams. So I hope you'll check it out. I once heard a theologian say that if Lent is the time to give things up, then Eastertide is the season to take things up. So here's your listening assignment. Go ahead and play the movement of this New World Symphony and fire up that Jaws theme from John Williams not too far after that, and see if you notice the chase, the rhythm, the fear, this thrilling sound. And maybe you can tip your hat to Dvořák, this composer who somehow gave us a soundtrack for A Great White Shark 80 years before it even hit the silver screen. Well, that's going to have to do it for this week's episode of the Friday 5. As always, thanks so much for taking the time to listen. I'll see you next week. Take care.